Hello and welcome to Hot Take, where we here at No Bullshit go over the latest movies and TV shows and give you our hot take on them. Today's subject, Black Panther. It seems like we've been hearing about Black Panther for weeks and weeks now, and it's finally been released, so was it worth all the hype? Is it a movie you should see? Let's talk about it all today on Hot Take. First of all, Black Panther is a great movie. It's really well done, it's well acted, well written, and really good overall, especially if you like comic book movies. A few things are different here though. It doesn't have as many jokes and as much humor as other Marvel movies, but it still throws a few in there. A few groaners, I might add. Especially one joke coming from Black Panther's sister, who dares to throw in a "what are those" joke.
What are those?
Pretty desperate, very cringy. But don't worry, that's probably the worst part of the movie. Other things I noticed that were different were the fact that it's more serious, more socially conscious story. The hero is not just trying to save himself or his family, he's in charge of the whole kingdom, the whole Wakanda country that's in Africa. The rest of the movie holds up pretty well though. I would say one of my favorite parts is the villains. First you have the Claw, played by Andy Serkis, who, the Claw just seems like one of those scary villains that'll do anything to make a buck and steal stuff, and he does all this crazy things, and he even comes up with this attachment for his hand. It's really good stuff, but he's not even the main villain. He's kind of the first half's villain. He gets taken over by Killmonger. Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, is an excellent villain. He actually has some really good motivation that you can get behind. He wants to save the black people worldwide. I was especially happy to see that they didn't do the whole Iron Man versus Ironmonger villain thing. It may have looked like that in the trailer. It may have looked like a Black Panther versus an evil Black Panther, which is a pretty common way for Marvel to do their setups, but it doesn't really turn out that way. So even though the action and the fighting was great, there were some lacking parts. There were special effects that looked a little dated, a little sloppy. Maybe it was because there was just so many effects in this movie. A lot of high-tech futuristic stuff comes up when you go to Wakanda. There's spaceship parts, and normally Marvel does a really great job with it. It has a lot of looks and similarity to Guardians of the Galaxy and the other Thor movies, the other extraterrestrial, otherworldly places. But what's cool is this isn't even on another world. It's just a high-tech fictional country in Africa. One of my favorite parts was the look of the vibranium. You've probably seen it in the trailer. You see the bright blue. It shines everywhere. It's added to suits and all the tech, everything. And it looks really cool. But now that we're on it, one of my other complaints was how the vibranium is just so used for everything. It's almost overused. I feel like the original story, and maybe this is the comic book version originally, but it was just kind of a strong metal. And it was used in Captain America's shield and in Black Panther's suit. But once we go to Wakanda and we see it, it's used in almost everything. It's just like a go-to. It makes you stronger. It heals wounds. They use it in weapons. They use it to get power. I don't think that bogs down the movie too much. I think one of the things that really drags this movie out is that it is drug out. It's a little long. It's over 2 hours long, and I think that you're asking a lot from your audience if you're going to go that long on a movie. I don't think I ever got super bored during this movie or anything. It was kept my interest. It just seemed a little long overall. The last thing I'll add that I thought was a little curious, a little suspect, was the clash between the high-tech stuff I told you about before, the vibranium and the space-age technology that they have at Wakanda. It kind of clashed with their tribal look a little bit. I know they wanted to retain and have this tribal African, them people holding spears, bright colors, women with shaved heads. They went with all this Africa-themed stuff, which I thought was good, but when you see how far their technology went, it looked a little strange. You'd think maybe they would move on from those old styles at some point. I mean, they've had vibranium for 1,000 years now, I believe, in the story. It goes back for centuries and centuries. So I thought the fact that they still retained all that African tribal stuff so strictly too. I mean, they were wearing African stuff straight up. There's a few parts where they have the fights. The music, I think, wasn't used well enough. I heard the soundtrack, and they had Kendrick Lamar, and the music stuff was really good up front, and in the trailer they used some of the songs, but I don't remember any of them really in the movie until the credits. The other thing I wanted to mention that I did like, I really liked the spy stuff. It ended up being a lot more of a spy movie than you would have guessed. A very vibe of like Mission Impossible, James Bond, 007 espionage. This is something I actually predicted before too, because I knew that Black Panther had spied on the Avengers before, and there are a few storylines for that, but it actually expands upon that even more. You find out, without too many spoilers, you find out there's a lot more spying going on. Wakanda sends people around a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and get the hot take rating out here. 1 to 5, 1 being not so hot, and 5 flames being too hot to handle. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 4 out of 5 flames. That means it's great. It was super hot. Not the hottest movie I've ever seen in my life, but it definitely was getting up there. Definitely sets things up for Marvel's Infinity War, which is the new movie that's coming out. That's very exciting. I hear Wakanda's very involved in that, so we're going to look forward to it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you. I love you. Bye. Wakanda forever.